it's really about the person's experience in that moment with the paint, with the canvas, and so basically anything that they're saying on that canvas is right. If it's right for them at the time, then there's nothing to critique. What I do try to encourage, though, is if someone seems like they're in a personal battle with themselves about the painting or something about the painting, then I try to ask questions to kind of tease out whether there's something more that they can do or some deeper, some kind of light bulb that can go off. So for example, one woman had painted this beautiful landscape just out of her head with mountains and rolling fields and flowers in the foreground and a lovely sky. And the mountains had, at first when I came by, the mountains were these kind of rolling hills. And then I came by later and they were sharper peaks. And and I asked her, oh, so did the mountains change or did I just make that up? And she said, well, actually she talked about not liking the mountains. And then I asked, well, did they change? And she said, well, you know, I put those in because I remembered some teacher a long time ago telling me that mountains are right if they have sharp peaks. And so it dawned on her that, how silly was that she was taking the advice of this teacher from years ago that's not even there, but she really likes rounded mountains. So we talked about how she could change them back to what she wanted.
Yeah.
So that little aha moment for her was critical. And I think for people who are undergoing any sort of treatment for illness, what I hope that the class is giving them is a chance and a framework for them to make their own choices.
I suppose at a time where they have so little control over kind of what's happening to them, this is one area where they do get a sense of control.
Exactly.
Right, and I think it's nice that you're kind of taking something that's negative and turning it into a positive.
And it's control, but also risk involved, because it's very scary to have a white canvas with nothing on it. But what we talk about sometimes when people are facing that fear is, you know, the fear that you've got with your illness is way bigger than what's going to happen on this canvas. So it allows them to, you know, open up to the canvas and see what happens. And somehow whatever's bubbling under the surface for them personally has a way of coming out on the canvas in a way that's much less threatening than if they were to sit and answer questions about it necessarily, or they may not be able to answer questions about it because it's not quite in their conscious mind yet. So once it bubbles up and takes form that they can look at, it's easier to remove oneself from it and be able to therefore deal with it, heal from it, see it as a path to wellness.
Oh, wow. Well, that's amazing. It's just remarkable to hear your story, and I think that we could go on and on discussing it more, but unfortunately we're running short on time. I want to mention that some of these paintings are on display now at a local gallery, is that right?
They're actually at a healing center in Tingsboro called Body Destinations.
Okay.
And
that's Pondview Plaza, I think I saw here. Okay, so Pondview Plaza, and people can go in and look at the paintings, or the work, that's wonderful. And Bruce, do you have any last thing that you'd like to say to kind of set us on our track here to remember to sign up and get us out there?
Well, once again, there isn't a family in Chelmsford that hasn't somehow been touched by this disease, and this is a chance for us as a community to get together and show your support for those who are fighting the good fight. And I promise we'll make it a fun, memorable day, and please come out and join us. Every step we take does make a difference.
Okay. And the people that you help are helped in so many ways, ways that we can't even really envision until we hear something like Sherry and what she's doing over there.
When you see on the cover of our walking papers the blue shirt, which is a survivor shirt, for me the most poignant moments of any team walk are when the survivors come across and they're greeted by their families and friends and by the doctors and nurses who have treated them, and they're all presented a medal when they come over the finish line.
Oh, wonderful.
And it just shows you that the diagnosis of the disease is not a death threat, it's a challenge, and we want to be there and show everyone how much we care for them.
Okay, great. So we're going to put this on our calendar and get out there and get those walking papers going, and we'll see you then on the 18th.
Look forward to it.
Thank you so much for coming in today and talking about it.